Hello and welcome to another free code session. My name is Jason Bach, and continuing on with rocks, source generator version. So I got a couple things on the list and then we'll dive into some other stuff afterwards if we get done with these. First one is I'm going to add tests for mock information and make sure it's doing the things that we expect it to. Then I'm also going to create the diagnostics from the static constant classes. And what I mean by that is if you go into, where is it? Oh yeah, it is in the mock information. Is that I'm doing all this here, and I think it would just be cleaner if I had something to say like cannot mock sealed type constants generate diagnostic, and then that's what you would add to your current list or array in this case. And then that is somewhere else. It's just a minor refactoring. Okay. And then we'll move on from there. So the first thing is get test for mock information. So we're going to do that, except we're not going to mark it obsolete because that's stupid. That would be dumb. Tests. Okay. And we say public static class test. And we got to do that. Public static void create when type is sealed. That's one. And then we're going to need another one when type is obsolete and error is true. Yeah, we'll do that for now just to get our heads around what needs to be there. I'll go to rock generator tests. We're going to pull part of this out to do what we need to do here. Okay. We don't need a tuple coming out. What we need is we need the tree in the model, I think. Syntax tree semantic model. I'm just going to call output that. We get the compilation. We don't need to run the generator in this case. We do need link. Okay. And before I forget, we should also make sure that our tests are running like that. Okay. All right. So what we want to do here is, yeah, we do need to do that. So we want to say return syntax tree compilation semantic model for the tree. I do because I didn't know that you actually, yeah, in this case, you can say get semantic model, but that is optional. In this case, why is that? This is a compilation. That's a C# compilation. Sure. Okay, so now we got that there. We're going to say var code is equal to public sealed class sealed type. And actually we can just do that as one shot. And actually we can say var tree model is equal to MIT get output, where the output is going to be code, but we don't need to keep the code around because we can just do that. And there we go. Okay, now what we want to do is find var type syntax be tree get root ascended nodes of type, class declaration syntax, single, because there should only be one. Okay. And var type symbol is going to be the model get symbol information off of a type syntax symbol. And we know this is going to be an iType symbol. If it's not, something went wrong. Okay. All right. And you're complaining because, whoops, why are you complaining? What's not null? Symbol. Okay. And now what we need to do is say var information is equal to new mock information, passing in the type symbol and the model. Assert multiple. Assert that information.diagnostics contains well, how do we want to do this? Any is equal to cannot ID is true. And I just noticed something here. Actually, no, because these aren't going to be all constants. Yeah. There, that makes more sense. Okay, so is this true? It is not. Why is it not true? Invalidate. Okay. 27. I'm guessing that this actually didn't work. Does get that. Okay. But that's null. Because, you know, there. Just declare. You do one or the other. I mean, that's just what you do. No. Oh my God. I can see why my friend killed that key. To get declared symbol. That is not even there. And we do that because what comes out of it is name type symbol. Converting null literal or possibly null value to non-nullable type. You know what? We don't even need to do that anymore. We're going to say bang. Passed. And I'm also going to say that information methods length is equal to 0 because we should never on these find these, and just to be, you know, always testing the right things, I guess. That's the mood for today. Okay, so we got that working, which is good. Now what we need to do is say create one type is obsolete and error is true. Okay. So I think in this case we want to be a little nicer with how we're formatting the code because we want to say obsolete. We have to say no. What? You can't do that either. Oh. Duh. Okay, now I don't need to say plus there. We want to say public class obsolete type. Okay. And to be consistent, I guess, let's just, var code is equal to that. I know I could have done refactoring, but I wasn't thinking. Okay, so I'm going to pass in that here code. We're going to get the type, get the declared symbol, mock information. Actually, if what I really care about is getting the information, then why don't I just, yeah. And then we'll say here. And then what we're getting out of here, we're going to do that down here. Okay. So we're getting the syntax tree. Okay. And then you do that here. Well, actually, okay, let's do our model is equal to that. Because we're going to need to pass it in there. Model. We do that, and we say return that. Okay, so now in this case, we don't need to do that. We just say model. No, we say information. There. I think that's a little cleaner. Okay, we haven't run this yet. We need to say cannot mock obsolete data type descriptor. How does this fail? Because I know it is. It's going to fail. It's just got to fail. Yeah, it failed. Not surprising at all. Okay, so what we need to do in here, let's get rid of all that. Put in a breakpoint there. No, it's just going to run a test. I want to debug the test. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so we're going to get the attributes. Get one. If attributes lengths, attributes any. So we should see just one. It's going to be 0. There are no constructor arguments. There are no named arguments. Wonderful. Not kind of surprising because I don't think it can. I think in this case I have to do the reverse, which is fine because we know that ain't going to happen. Okay. Now I need to say var obsolete syntax, which is equal to, well, which one was it? Okay, so if this, dear God, is not null, God, I love that. I'm glad they finally added that. Then what I need to do is for the existing obsolete syntax, EOA, application syntax reference. Not really sure what that's going to be. So this is wrong, but I want to see like how far do we get? Obviously not far enough. This didn't work. Okay. Error type symbol. Okay. Well, that's interesting. That is how you do it, right? Obsolete. Oh, I bet I know what I'm missing. It doesn't know. Yeah, I'm a moron. Using system. Yeah, it doesn't know what system is. Which is fine. Which is fine. Actually, I may have been a problem. Hold on. Yeah, now it finds it. And look at that. We got constructor arguments. Yep, I was, yeah. So, I was right. Hate it when I'm right. Okay, so what did I want to do? Attributes any. And then what I want to do is say this. And constructor arguments length is equal to 2. Let's see that fail. So, oh, hey, that worked. Well, wow. So as long as obsolete doesn't get a third member that is also a Boolean, we will be good. It would be nice if constructor arguments to C# string. I'm kind of curious. I just want to see. And interesting. Okay. So, attributes. Attributes. What the? Oh, fine, whatever. 0. Constructor arguments of 2. One of these. Right. What I would really want to see is, well, what's the name of it? You know what I mean? Because that's what I really care about. What I don't need is this. Okay. So that works. So that's good. Okay. So we have these two tests. So let's go into git interstash, adding tests for mock information. And then I wanted to move the diagnostic generation onto those descriptors. So let's do that. Public static diagnostic create and we need to pass in type symbol type. What? No, I said type. Type what I typed. There we go. What's the... Oh, for God's sakes. Really? Really? Pretty simple. And then the same thing here. That's mock seal type. Oh, we want to do mock obsolete. Internal static descriptor diagnostic. Create type symbol type. There. Okay. KK. And then in this case, we take that out and then we put cannot mock obsolete type. There. A little bit easier to read. Okay. Now, will that just run all the tests on the highlighted assembly or project that I gave it? We're going to find out. Tune in tomorrow. No. What did I forget? I forgot a semicolon. Well, you can't forget your semicolons. That would be silly. How many tests does it actually run? You're going to do all of them, aren't you? That's not what I wanted. I just wanted you to run the tests and generators. Well, or did you just run 3? Or do you not even know what you're supposed to do? That's entirely possible. I don't know if you're running or not. I can't tell. Yeah, I don't think you're running. But can you say just, run tests? So that works, but it doesn't, oh well. Fine. Come on, that's a... That's a little weird. All right, so we're getting near the end of the time for this episode, but there's going to be many, many more to come. The next thing we need to do, and put on the list, is find all mockable methods. Eventually, we'll do properties and events as well, but for now, just methods. Okay. Because then we can put in the test to say if you don't have anything mockable, then we put in another diagnostic. Otherwise, we know we can actually generate one at that point. And so we'll go through all the methods, we'll go through all the properties, and go through all the events. The methods is going to be I think the biggest hump to get over. And so that's why I want to do that first and try to limit it towards happy paths and see where we get. Okay. So the other nice thing about this too, I think, now that I think about it before we stop, is if I look at this, rock here will just create the expectations. But the generator, okay, I have this concept of just being able to say rock.make. Okay. The make on the extension method actually creates an instance of the mock. Rock.make, all it does is it has a somewhat different path. Like this rock generator here, now I'm thinking about it, that might be a rock create generator. And that all it handles is the create part of the generation. If you want to just do a make, which is like an opaque object that has no validations, you're just passing around to say, hey, when this method returns something, that's also complicated, but we're not going to do any validations on it. We just want an instance of an interface that this is returning. you can do a make. And so I'm actually now thinking maybe what I should do is have a rock create generator and a rock make generator. And in fact, I think I just talked myself into it. I think that's the right thing to do, because the reason why I'm saying this is because the mock information here is going to find out, the same things. You can't do it if it's sealed. You can't do it if it's obsolete. And we just want to find out all the events, methods, and properties. Once you have all those three things, the way that the create is going to do it is slightly different than the way the make is going to do it. And right now I have them in rocks being kind of intertwined in terms of the code that's being generated. And I'm thinking those are two separate concerns. They're going to be going down two separate paths. Rock.make it's going to be a little harder because we might need to have like rock.make, which is I want an instance of this, and then say dot create or dot generate or something like that, because it's not going to know what type of an instance to make. I don't think so off the top of my head. So I'm going to put that in the list of things, of ideas. Do we have a rock create generator as well as a rock make generator, and keep them separate? Okay, because there would be a static method called rock.make as well, and that would simply generate a type that would just do that. And then instead of that returning like an iSetups, what that would do is actually return like an iOpaque setup or iNoSetups or something like that. I don't know, I'm just babbling off the top of my head. But then an extension method, all it would do is create an instance of, it would have also a make method on there, and all that would do is create an instance of the opaque type. If you had to pass in, constructor arguments, those would be generated there as well. So I'm kind of leaning towards I like that idea. I think that's cleaner. There may be a little bit of duplication, but I like it that one's generating one thing and one's generating the other, because they are two different things. They have some shared stuff, but at the same time, it's like they don't do nowhere near as much, and that's been a little unclear at times. I remember if I'm going back in videos, like, oh, I'm doing a make here. Well, what does that do? Well, it has a clear intent of what it should do. The create has a clear intent of what it should do. And yeah, I'm kind of grooving on this idea, but again, it's just an idea and I'll have to flesh it out. I'm just going to work on the rock generator portion of it right now. And then we're not doing makes, and we'll just move on from there. So next episode, we're going to start digging into finding all the mockable methods, and maybe possibly actually getting into starting to create the actual code for these things. So that'll be quite the adventure. So thank you all for watching. Leave comments and questions below. See you in the next episode.